Playing against LG kind of reminds us of ourselves. They're a really, really strong respawn team. It basically comes down to whoever wins the S&D in the series against them, so it could always go either way.
They're the most dysfunctional team that I think I've ever played against. Their playstyles clash extremely hard, but it works for some reason.
They basically just have a bunch of randomly assorted ace players on their team, so they just have a ton of slaying power, so we typically always get outslayed by them.
It's a toss-up. This is the top 8 teams in the world. These are the best 8 teams in the world. I cannot definitively say, we're going to 3-0 this team because, we're just better, right? I think every matchup's going to come down to who clutches up in the time.
When we play LG, I definitely think it would be a 3-2, if that, in our favor.
Welcome back to day 2 of the Stage 1 playoffs of the Call of Duty Global Pro League presented by the PlayStation 4. It's the final matchup of the evening. EUnited versus Luminosity Gaming in an elimination losers bracket matchup. And Merc, I want to start this discussion of this next series with you. I feel like when we talk about Luminosity, I think all eyes are going to be on Saints. How consistent is he going to be?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, when you talk about when they played well, I just think of him on that Frost uplane just absolutely dominating. When he plays well, that team wins. Slacked, Octane, Classic, they're all very consistent players. If he's able to step it up, they can compete with anyone in the world.
They definitely can. However, I think it's a little bit nervous maybe for LGX because EUnited, they were gunning earlier on. I mean, everyone was playing very well. Prestini especially, he stepped up to a whole new level today.
Yeah, EUnited just look like they've got everything figured out. I mean, they lost day 1, they came back. I guess they talked about it because you can definitely see a big change in their gameplay. Like I said earlier, Prestini's not throwing his life away, being super aggressive. They're calm, cool, collective, and they look scary.
We'll take a look at the map set for the series now. Of course, we're going to start off with that hardpoint retaliation. Crusher, Search and Destroy, Frost uplink. Momo, looking at the maps, you got a prediction for this one?
I'm looking at map 1 in particular between these two teams.
That helps.
Well, you gotta start at the start, of course. But I'm favoring EUnited. I know LG have been on top of their game. They've been playing well. I just think EUnited on Crusher and S&D as well. I think EUnited could go 2-0 up here, but it wouldn't surprise me if we went and saw. Oh, actually, no. I see this ending in 4, EUnited.
EUnited in 4, Merc?
I think it's tough because I think game 1 you lean towards EUnited, but the other two, like Crusher Search, like Luminosity, I mean, they have like 3 things they do on Crusher, but it works out really well for them. But that Frost, I mean, that's what we talked about. I think that also leans towards them, so I can see this going towards a game 5.
I don't think LG stands a chance.
Oh, God, here we go.
I'm an LG fan, but EUnited's looking too good. I think all of them are on point right now. They all look scary. It's going to be an LG or EUnited sweep.
Fair enough. Excited to get this final matchup underway. EUnited versus Luminosity Gaming. Map number 1 about to begin. We can send it down to our fantastic casters for the series. It's Mr. X, joined by Teep.
Thanks, Ben. Teep, I'm excited for this matchup. It's going to be EUnited, Luminosity, obviously, but a lot of people wouldn't categorize these teams as pretty similar. Like EUnited, I feel like a very strong respawn team. We talk about Luminosity, how great they are in the respawns. I feel like the game 1 is going to be huge, a lot like what Phil said.
Oh, definitely. That retal, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a coin flip. LG very good at retaliation in general, but honestly, talking about LG here, they've got to bend that S&D team. Going back to that phase series, they're not really looking as characteristic as they're used to be in those respawns. Search and Destroy, though, pretty consistent.
And it's 2 really decent map draws for LG in S&D. I mean, they get Crusher, one where Joe said they they have 3 strats. They all go towards A, they all go towards B. Maybe they said 1 on the flank, and they're able to pull out that game number 2. But game number 1 loading up now. There'll be retaliation, hardpoint to kick things off. R-Cities versus Octane. That's the battle I'm going to be looking at.
And Octane looking damn good earlier. That clutch and that
was sick.
That breakout was absolutely insane. NV4, those close quarters, not used to seeing it, but R-City is going to be focusing on those spawns, on these wide routes here on retaliation. One thing I need to note as well, EUnited played that first match way earlier on in the day. They look damn good, but it's been a while.
Yeah, a lot on it's my schedule. First match of the day, last
right.
match of the day. It's got very difficult, I imagine, for a team like EUnited. I was up in the player lounge, just chatting with some of the guys, and they were like, oh man, like we don't know when we should start warming up or getting ready to play. But EUnited getting onto the hard point first, just kills being exchanged from both teams here. No real solid control for anyone just yet. What's the most important part of holding this bridge hard point for you?
Really, holding that wall run side. If you can lock down, so you can just focus up that street, it's very important. Sort of what R-Cities is doing right there. First, you look at that wall run. It opens that lane for your teammate. You see Prestini hitting that right now. It allows you to just focus on one thing. It seems easy, but if you can lock down that first, you can get your players in the hill and just sort of hang out.
Yeah, it's a lot of what we hear from players. It's like, I fill lane, so to speak. It's like that's what you see Pristini doing there. RCs has the bridge unlocked. Pristini hitting this wall run on the lower bridge area, trying to pick up some kills. But the hill being contested right now, 10 seconds left on it. EUnited doing a very good job not giving a lot of points to LG. Now we're going to go down towards the lower market. Small sample size really early in the game. Saints and Classic both off to an 0-3 start.
Yeah, quality start for EUnited. RC's just doing a great job locking down that bridge. Now expecting some scrappy gunfights here at Hotel. Gunless getting the best of those when expect him to switch up that weapon. Those 4 MV4s are really used to seeing that because of those long line of sights on bridge. Pristini doing his best, though, to stay alive. He hasn't died yet, so still has his weapon.
Pristini inside of Garage. Not going to push into the hard point just yet. Needs his teammates to get in position so they can pinch. And now going to slide on in. Going to earn himself the Scarab. Trying to work towards more score streaks. Going to pick up 1 kill there. He's 100 points off of Trinity's. Going to push in towards the market. Going to land some shots in. He's going to back down, let a teammate come in, clean it up. Smart plays from Pristini. So different than what we saw from him yesterday, right? We were kind of getting on him yesterday. Did not make the best of decisions. Today looks like a completely different player.
Top teams make those adjustments on the fly. Pristini doing it there. And now, look at that bottom right. 50 away, 25 now away. He just needs to get that hardpoint time, but no. Gets taken out by Slack. Not going to earn that Trinity and bombardment. Those 2 kills may prove to be crucial throughout the rest of this game from Slack, and he's staying alive on rotation.
Yeah, this is huge. It's like a 1v1 for this Cathedral. It was actually Silly in that market, and Slack playing for the hard point. And Silly's going to get a few of his teammates over. One player from EUnited, it's Pristini, who's done an excellent job. We can highlight him for a second. You see his arrow at the top of the minimap. What he did, he got the bridge, got this cutoff, prevented the rest of the players from Luminosity getting close to Slack to help him out. That's what allows EUnited to get control of the hard point.
Giving Pristini a lot of crap, honestly, yesterday for some of his poor plays on rotation, not making one there, buying just enough time for his teammates to flood up on that favorable side market. But now we see Silly stuck. Last one alive, trying to buy time. He gets out of hill with his life, gets traded out. Gunfight is going to be going down towards the market side, but LG holding strong for the last 20 seconds.
The score is so lopsided in favor of EUnited right now. You see 2 players on the minimap already rotating for Luminosity, and it's 2 big kills. One from Classic, one from Octane. Put another one for Classic in the feed. But look at where EUnited spawns, Teep. They spawn right at Broken Building. They should be able to get the early points on this hill.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough break from the side of LG. Scarab going out. Classic does get that first blood, though, in this break attempt. 2 Scarabs coming out. They blow up the van. Unfortunate situation now. We switch on board with Gunless. He gets gunned at the front by Saints, so a nice gunfight win. Pristini and his duo in Silly is going to be holding towards the back. 2 huge kills there, but Octane breaks spawn, it looks like.
RCs needs to pick up this kill, but Octane again with the NV4 in the back. His shot is just so accurate at range. You see it time and time again when we go on board with him. You know, these shots, they're like laser-like when he focuses in on players at range. And look at this spot behind the truck, able to see Pristini through the window. Octane going on a little bit of the streak in the back, gonna let his teammates get some time, and they're clawing right back into this game.
Such a great fundamental setup and break from LG to get a lot of this broken time. I expected them not to get any of it, but they claw back just enough. EUnited is going to get this last 10 seconds of this, or those to secure their lead up to about a 30-ish point lead. So this is going as expected. Expect both teams to, throw blows at each other throughout this whole hard point, but really pull away here in the second rotation.
There are 2 teams that can go on like long streaks, right? Yeah. Where you see, everybody on EUnited on a 2-3 streak, and they start to rack up tons of time. Luminosity just as explosive, and I think that's what makes this matchup so difficult for both of these teams, because they know the capabilities of the opponents on the other side. But it'll be EUnited getting control of Hotel Hallway, Saints with 1, trying to work in behind a teammate. 2 more kills for Luminosity. They have control of the Hotel Hallway, trying to make the comeback in this game. Classic on a 3 streak. And what has gone right for Luminosity so far this weekend for you, and what has gone wrong? I feel like a lot of times we talk about Saints' play, and he needs to play better, but I feel like there has to be some more things other than that is resulting in some losses.
Honestly, you have to go to that series versus phase, and Slack was the one. We highlighted him so much on this side of LG of possibly being their best player. He's so darn aggressive, and always, for years it seems like now, putting up those crazy kill-heavy games. I don't think we've really seen that, and again, in this one, only 7-9. You need him to perform in these top-tier matches when you're going up against the likes of, OG, FaZe, EUnited. He needs to step up.
Hey, you expect Slack to be a primetime player in these matchups, and you go up against those top dogs, you need everybody to show up. And Classic and Octane in the feet. They're trying to get onto the hard point. They're going to contest it now. Octane over the top with the NV4. LG will break, but they're not going to push all the way through. You see EUnited, they're going to get a lot of real estate here to get back onto the bridge to contest for this time.
Looks like Classic with some nice shots. The headshot over towards Christini on the wall run. And a second, Classic shooting so darn well with this NV4 with the help of Octane. And it's so weird seeing Octane 17 and 13, so many more engagements. When you have the like of Saints and Slacks on your team, why is Octane getting the most gunfights? That in particular doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's weird. Usually Octane is the player on Luminosity who's going to be a little bit more towards the back of the hard point, a little bit further away from the objective. You know, really just putting down shots with the NV4 at range, just like that. But, you know, you see him forcing all these engagements. That's really what Slacked and Saints are supposed to be doing. Maybe it's just a product of the map, you know, like a map like Retaliation. I mean, you were an objective player yourself. Now, how difficult is it, you know, to play some of these larger maps?
It's really tough, and to be versatile, I wasn't really great, to be honest, from the player perspective of being able to switch weapons on a given, you know, on a given map. I was always used to using whatever that close range SMG was, so having to switch up weapons to it, whether it's a K-bar or NV4 in this sort of situation, can be tough at times. But you have to note, they are getting a good amount of hardpoint time. Octane's been out of the hill. Nice FTL. Ooh, silly turns and burns on him, though, as we go back and forth here on the lower street. EUnited still holding strong, honestly, going back and forth with about this 20-point lead.
So I will say, you know, EUnited has controlled most of this game, but they've let Luminosity hang around just enough that they could blow this game open towards the end if they start to go on some of those runs we were talking about. And 10 seconds left on this hard point. Luminosity still holding strong. It has been Octane and Classic here so far in hardpoint for Luminosity that they've really taken control. And you're pointing at the mini-map to me. You can see two players on EUnited spawn all the way out. This is Luminosity's chance to come back.
Octane set up that play on the rotation, went all the way around bridge, got that first kill, and forced those split spawns out. Now they have the number advantage in the hill. Saints needs to go big along with Classic. Scrappy gunfight situations. Looks like EUnited actually coming out on top. Was not expecting that. Persini breaks along with Silly. That cannot happen if on the side of LG. You have the number advantage. You have the spawn at market. You cannot lose that. EUnited go huge.
And it's all the work that Luminosity put in to make this game close kind of goes out the window right there. I mean, that was their best chance to come back in this one. We do not know if they'll get another good shot at it as they had the pinch coming in, but EUnited goes clutch. They win the gunfights. The last 30 seconds or so of this hill will go in favor to EUnited. Luminosity will set up for this next hard point. Believe nobody have been paying attention to a lot of the score streaks on the side. Nobody's gone on any real long runs where we can have score streaks come into play. So won't see them here off the spawn, you know, maybe get some players out of positions, and won't see them, at least for now, over at bridge, which could potentially be that last hard point.
Going to be interesting to see EUnited getting so darn close to these payloads, but look how far LG is pushed out, doing a great job. Saints just needs to lock down this hallway, this platform. He picks up that kill, and this allows Classic to get out of the hill and win this nice headshot onto the drop-shotting Arcides. It looks like LG going to hold this full 60. Classic does have this camo at the ready, getting close to some streaks now. If he earns these, they could probably come back here.
Yeah, I mean, Classic getting very close to score streaks. Saints now on a 5 streak as well. If they get these score streaks, it would be huge. A Scarab for Classic. He's going to keep on pushing. He's going to fall. We can jump over to Saints. Saints actually falls as well. So both their streaks going to be ended about the same time. But just like that, Luminosity has come back to tie the game up here, team. Just 1 second behind, actually. EUnited, they'll play for the last few seconds here. But man, Luminosity has battled all the way back.
Yeah, that was a crazy hold from them. Octane and Classic with 26 and 24 apiece, 50 kills for them. And Saints really coming alive too. He was struggling a bit early. Slack still just kind of hanging out back in the hills, not getting put in very good situations, hanging around a 0.5 KD. He needs to turn up. He needs to be the difference maker. But LG played that broken pretty much perfect.
Well, Saints has used his payload ability. You have Classic with his camo. On the other side for EUnited, you have Pristini with his, Gunless with his camo as well. So although EUnited down 2, still a lot of scrap time here in the hotel hallway. The overall game clock could come into effect as well. We'll just point that out. 1:43 on the overall game clock. Slack picking up 1. Actually, Slack actually takes out 2 teammates there in the hotel hallway. Can't be doing that. Just mows down his squad. As you see Classic coming around the opposite side. Now it's going to be Octane killing a teammate. Saints, he's got to be frustrated. The last 2 times he's tried to dive in there, he's just gotten murdered into the back by a teammate. Pristini able to pick up 2 big kills. EUnited gets the lead right back. Now we're going over to the bridge.
Christini has that reactive. The two big payloads from EUnited going to be coming in soon at basically the perfect time. I don't know if they're going to need it, but a huge flank coming in on the side of Slack. Classic pops the camo to break the hill. Only one player alive from EUnited on the other side. This is a huge chunk of time. Classic almost falls off the map there as he switches on board with Gunless that has his camo.
And it's such a smart play with camo there from Classic. He goes up on top of the bridge because it doesn't alert the other team that the bridge is being contested, so he's not noticeable right there. He picks up one. They're able to break with ease. And here comes Pristini with the reactive armor. He gets one. Going on the outside. He's able to win a second fight against Classic, but quickly taken out. It's Gunless with the active camo. Luminosity racking up score. They cannot win on this hill, I believe. A contest will come in here from Gunless with camo. He's going to put a lot of shots in one. Able to turn, finish off one, but it's going to be Classic and Slacked on the hard point, able to pick up some kills. Pristini, though, comes on a flank, able to pick up two. You see everybody now running towards that lower market, but look at Silly in a perfect position here, Teep.
Great heads-up play from Silly to set up at the bike shop now. All he needs to do is lock this down, but looks like LG has a lot of plat control. Silly and RC is going to be the duo in the hill. He picks up one, so doing his job, all he needs to do is buy time for his teammates to get in there. An 8 hits him. Does he win the gunfight? Almost turns and burns on Slack, but EUnited has control of the hill now. I was going to critique Gunless on that camo use. I thought that time was going to be contested at bridge anyways. We're going to see if that bites them late in this one. They need to win these gunfights. They're not doing it, though. Slack coming awake at the perfect time. They only need 15 seconds.
Just the raw slaying power of Luminosity coming alive here in the second half of the game. Classic has spotted everybody, so he knows exactly where everybody on EUnited is coming from. He's able to get one. RC's off the wall run, able to pick up one kill. 1 second left, though. It's EUnited. They barely get in to contest.
Oh, I thought they were going to let that hill go on longer, but LG close it out. 250 to 237. Basically, this map going how I thought it was going to. Both teams so darn good at the map in general. And basically, we're not used to seeing, or we haven't really seen that team performance, that slaying from LG. Slacked was double negative at a given time. Finally, he comes alive to almost even, I believe. He's the difference maker. He allowed that win to go down.
And it's a lot like we see teams, they kind of let Optic linger in games, right? And then everybody starts to pick up. Classic and Octane keep them in that game for the entire first half. I mean, those guys have monster first halves of the game, and it's not even really Slack that kind of turns up towards the end. It's really Saints for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Saints played really well in the second half of that game, and that is one that if you're an EUnited fan, that is a tough one to watch because that is a game they probably should have taken. They had complete control for a good chunk of that game. Luminosity, though, just goes on a streak towards the second half of those hard points. They're able to close it out.
Yeah, I think burning those big two payloads on bridge from the side of EUnited was a mistake. I don't think you need to burn both at bridge. Just contest. It's pretty easy to slide in from curve just to, contest that time as much as possible. They had even numbers for the majority of it, so.
Well, there's so much to manage now,
yeah,
in terms of just COD as a player, right? I mean, when you play, there was not a lot of abilities. You didn't have to worry about the streaks really that much. It's like now you're worried about the overall game clock. You're worried about how much time is hit on the hill. You're worried about if your teammates are rotating down to kind of control the spawns. Then you're worried about abilities and score streaks. There's so much to manage at that moment in time. They probably popped the camo because a lot of these games we see on Retaliation Hardpoint end at bridge. So they probably didn't even really think about, hey, we maybe need one of those abilities, reactive or camo, to go contest at the lower market.
Especially on that lower street at the end, we saw LG focus so much on that flat side. That's exactly what you needed to do. EUnited, however, didn't do the same thing. They sort of just flooded, played frantic at that market steps. That's not the side of the map you want. You need to get that line of sight. We saw Classic, forcing that spawn out so far back at bridge. You can see where they're pushing from. Really made it easy for them in the last seconds there.
See game number 2 coming up shortly. It'll be Crusher, Search, and Destroy. Luminosity, it's a team we've all gone on about their S&D play throughout the year. It has not been poor. I mean, the core 3, Slacked, Octane, and Classic, if they were great at S&D or even good at S&D last year, this is a team that probably walks away with Stage 1 finals. Yep. I mean, they take Optic all the way to the distance, best of 7 series. I think it's a team that right now they look to be playing pretty well in Search and Destroy. What do you like that they've made adjustments in S&D?
I think it's overall confidence. This is a team where you don't need these crazy sort of strategies. Go together, go to the strong part of the map if you want to call it that. The reason they had that success in that previous phase series, although they lost the respawns overall, is in that breakout they focused so much on getting that middle map control, allowing your aggressive players in Saints and Slack to get to those good positions with those E-Rads and have them have success. So expect a lot of team pushes. Both teams like to play Crusher pretty similarly.
It's a huge map for EUnited. Luminosity, not the best of search and destroy teams. This is one you think EUnited can come in and take. Then they still have full control of the series, at least in my opinion. You go over to the Frost uplink, we saw what Gunless and Arceus did in that game mode the other day. They were just nasty.
I think this one's absolutely must win for LG. Yes, I know it's just one map in the series, but going to that link, I'm pointing all things towards EUnited to win that one. So.
I mean, I even think if Luminosity loses this one, let's say they go on and the uplink doesn't go their favor, I still feel really good about them in throwback hardpoint, which would be game number 4.
That's very true. That's very true. Both teams, I think the hardpoints are really realistically coin flips when teams can slay like this at any given moment. Yes, you are going to have those players at times that are falling behind, but you saw how Saints is able to bounce back, Slack able to bounce back. All it takes is that one streak of good situations, good lives, and you can go, you start getting those score streaks. You can get that back in your favor real quick.
Yeah, I mean, you can be in the best position imaginable, right? You can rotate early, you can go sit up here, go sit up there. If the other team is just shooting hot, they're just coming in and just breaking your setups, doesn't matter. Game number 2 will begin. It'll be Crusher, Search and Destroy. Luminosity up 1-0 in the series. It'll be EUnited on offense to kick things off. We'll take a look at the minimap. All the action for EUnited going over towards A. It'll be a quick plan here from Gunless.
Reading this one correctly in the first one, LG not finding anything and realizing quickly where that bomb is going to be going down. Persini getting so much information, chokes the shots though. Slack comes back towards middle with his teammate and picks up the kill. Gunless is there to try and get the trade, but no trade going down. Very quickly turned into 2v2. This round's so fast.
It's going to be Arceus, the only one alive here. In a 1v2 situation, has bomb planted. Oh, did he spot this player up top? He's able to get one. It's going to make it a very tough situation for Saints to play. He has to jump up and challenge. He wins the gunfight. And Saints should make it back to the bomb in time. Will get the defuse. It'll be Luminosity winning round number 1.
That was some crazy stuff. EUnited had the complete advantage in that one. They get the bomb down so quick, and Persini finds those 2 players at middle, but he allows that player to slide across. He gives away his position. If he doesn't shoot there, probably lines up a pretty easy 2-piece, but regardless, LG plays that well. Slacked with so much confidence to just sort of juke back, jump towards middle, and gun him.
It's like LG needs to just play this almost like it's like a one-life hardpoint where like, okay, let's think about the bomb site as the hill, right? And we just need to break it and just offload like one unit. You see. This is a very risky play here. Coming across the middle is Classic. It's a teammate in support, and I think EUnited knows exactly where this push is coming from. It'll be Persini getting first blood. Nobody in a real good position here for Luminosity to follow it up. And look at where the bomb is down, Teep. I mean, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that middle push, trying to catch one player off guard, but it doesn't work out, and very quickly EUnited cleans up. That's fine to try and isolate Persini at middle, but as soon as he runs away, you know he's going to his teammates back at A.
Like, but why lead with the bomb?
Yeah, that too.
I've never understood why teams do that. It's like, okay, here's our most aggressive player. Let's send him into the other team's base with the bomb. And it's like, well, now he's dead.
If he drops like that, it forces the players to go all the way back into a vulnerable position just to grab the bomb. It just makes things so hard.
It'll be 1-1 round count. So now we'll see EUnited on offense. RC switching things out, had an E-Red in his hands. Now with the NV4, they're going to try a mid-push of their own, and you see Gunless picks one off, and now they're going to put the pressure all the way on Luminosity as some tags go into Octane. He's taken out by Persini. Just like that, just one member alive. It'll be Classic for Luminosity, able to pick up one. Both players for EUnited coming around on this flank.
Ooh, a bit unfortunate timing for Classic there. Man, these middle pushes, I'm a huge fan of the confidence overall, but man, they're going so far up the middle. I feel like once teams catch on, these are going to get shut down pretty quick, but it hasn't yet.
Well, EUnited, they do win the round there. I mean, Luminosity, they don't win the round in their mid push because I feel like they just committed a little bit too far to it.
Right.
Like, I mean, when EUnited commits their push, right, Gunless already has first blood, and they have one player, Octane, extremely weak in the back. So you know you pretty much have 2 kills. Maybe you lose one guy, but you're still up in the man advantage, and we'll see what Luminosity does on offense. Arceus over here alone.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Messes up the slide, gets caught out early.
How many players though hit that shot though? I mean, like those laser type bullets, like that is a far distance with an NV4.
Yeah, I don't think Octane missed a bullet there. Picks up the first kill of the round, the first blood at a very opportune time. They're not wasting any time to get aggressive. Classic spots that player, hits him with a nade. Does he clean him up? No, Silly actually gets the kill, trying to even out, but they do clean up. Doesn't matter. These rounds, once they find the kills, these guys so good at shooting, so good at hitting those trades, they're not lasting long at all.
Both teams could not care any less about the objective here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen one bomb plant. Everything else has just been let's just fly at them.
Yep.
I mean, both teams, they're not really too concerned with getting the bomb down and playing mind games. They just want to challenge each other gun on gun. Just taking a look at the stats as we get into this next round. Slacked with another slow game. In the hard point, we talked a little bit about it. Luminosity's able to win it, but 1-4 here to kick off the search and destroy.
Looks like LG hits this counter on this strat with the push towards A from EUnited. They're holding strong though. Octane picks up the first blood again. Pristini does get that trade back in, but LG just needs to buy time, not get taken out in any sort of these long ranges. Slacked, putting his back to the enemy, but he does make it out of view with his life. This is going to force the rotation from EUnited now that they know they can't break in. And Octane with these first bloods, man, his NV4, I can't believe his shot, man.
And in these scenarios, you have to always keep an eye on that overall game clock. With the offensive team, you're working to either get the bomb down or take out the opponent before it goes down. We see so many teams just leave themselves with not enough time to make a play happen. 38 seconds left. If you're Luminosity and you see one player over here towards A, you pretty much know EUnited is committed to this site. You could flood it right away.
Yeah, it's a good strat there from EUnited. They back up towards spawn, fake that they're going to be. And they do get the bomb site, but Octane in such a great spot. Gets that first player, and now a tough 2v2 scenario. Octane just snaps on that person instantaneously. Octane cannot be stopped right now. Looking like the best NV4 player by a landslide.
And we talked about, some of his struggles, specifically earlier in the year in Search and Destroy. I believe there was one event, he obviously has a tremendous respawn KD at almost all the events we have. Now, I believe one of them is S&D KD, something like a 0.68.
Yeah, I think it was Atlanta, actually. His respawn was like a 1.5, and then his S&D was like a 0.7. It's like, okay, you need to figure that out, but looks like he has 6-3 now.
It's just unbelievable, what one player, obviously not saying he was the main problem with them in S&D. It was really just a team effort, but one player turning it around from like a 0.7 to even, it doesn't seem like a huge difference. But man, those extra few kills a game, they sway rounds, especially in a game mode like Search and Destroy. And see Classic and Luminosity, they pushed up towards the bomb. Gonna nade this out. They know Pristini here is weak. It looks like EUnited gonna try and slide on in. Saints with one. A lot of shots into Pristini. He's gonna back up. Probably would have lost his life if he would have pushed through, but Silly able to pick up one kill. EUnited just staying alive in these rounds. Pristini picks up 2.
These rounds. What? Plant the bomb, settle down. Both teams are just expecting that push at any given time and just not taking advantage of the number scenario. But regardless, they hold strong at the back rock. They realize that LG probably isn't going to be planning. They're ready for the challenge. Proceeding with that first kill was huge. 2
kills from Silly, 2 from Pristini. It was a very smart play by Pristini to actually back out of the bomb site there, not follow gunless on in. Silly actually takes Saints out, and then it's 2 big kills there. They lined up right for Pristini, and we'll see EUnited now on offense, all things tied up, 3 rounds apiece. Silly with his payload ability. Some other players getting close to theirs as well. Classic off the wall run though, he draws first blood. Now you see EUnited, they're gonna back out as soon as they lose Pristini. And now Luminosity, they have complete control over B. A crazy challenge there from Octane. They can't let Gunless out of this position. They need to trade this kill out.
Especially, he just dropped the bomb as well. LG in a great situation now. Silly does get the trade. Now forcing the 1 versus 2. RC's now stuck in this one versus Saints. 1 versus 1. He gets the first, slides out, but no. Saints is at the ready, gets the call out from his teammate. An easy cleanup from him. One thing I want to note in this camo race in this game as well, I think both players, or Gunless is just a sliver away. Classic does have his, and now they have the round advantage.
Silly had a decent amount of time there. Didn't need the challenge right away. Yep. Probably could have let a little bit of his health more regen before he comes out and challenges Saints, but tries to catch Saints off guard. Saints wins the fight. LG up 1 more round. And now you have camo for LG. Do you use it here? What is your thought process on using this camo?
Well, if they're taking note of the points in the game, they probably realize that they have the advantage, so I'd expect them to pop it. Looks like another counter going to be coming in on this B bomb site. 4 versus 4, just flying at each other. Slacked and Classic pick up the first 2, and now you don't even need the camo. They have the complete advantage, and most importantly, they take out Gunless. He's not going to have his. Classic should clean up some easy shots, and I'm not sure what's happening from EUnited here. They're not used to a team playing them this straight up on these bomb sites. They're just getting gunned right now. The gun skill from LG just seems to be too strong.
And it's a difficult thing to turn around. I mean, it's not something like you can go back, like it's a strategy that's wrong and you can go and fix it. It's like, you're not winning gunfights. Exactly. That's a bad problem to have. It's not ideal for EUnited, as Luminosity 1 round away from taking a 2-0 lead in this series. An elimination match this evening. both these teams coming into this event, you thought they'd get top 4. Will not happen for one of them, as we see Gunless getting close to the bomb site. He's going to try and get it down to get that camo.
Smart play to get that payload ability at the ready. Looks like R-City's spotted that push out, but Classic not wasting any time. Catches that first player. The smart camo use there to pick up the kill at the hallway. One player does FTL away. That's silly. Just trying to preserve his life. There's 30 seconds left now on the bomb site. Octane flying out. Classic finds another one towards the middle. The camo is popped though. Gunless now stuck in the 1 versus 3. He finds one at the rock, but no. Gets cleaned up. That's going to do it. 6-3 victory. I was talking about that camo race. Gunless was just put in a very tough scenario with it, trying to clutch as best as he can, but his whole team's gone.
Yeah, no great scenario for him to use that active camo. It'll be Luminosity, the search and destroy powerhouses all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's weird to say.
Take game number 2 here. And now, just like that, we have a 2-0 lead for Luminosity. 1 game away from closing out EUnited. So Luminosity finally reached their potential, team.
It's looking like it. They look like a completely well-rounded team. It was surprising that they were getting pretty much handled in those respawns versus FaZe earlier, but man, they're taking it pretty easily right now versus EUnited, and that's exactly how I wanted them to play Search and Destroy for so long now. It seems that they found their groove. Just make it like a hard point, a 1-round hard point, like you're breaking a hill. They're doing it perfectly. And I think, are they undefeated in Search in this?
I don't know. I mean,
it's got to be close.
They have to be damn close. I mean, they have played phenomenal in S&D, and I think you look at Luminosity, and this is really what you expected to see from this team from the beginning of the year. It's like you thought, they put Saints on this roster. Man, they're going to be explosive in respawns. They should be pretty decent in Search and Destroy. I mean, this is a team that would have been, contending for your winners finals or grand finals. If they even win close to half of their respawns, they were just not able to win many at all. But guys, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, it'll be game number 3, Frost uplink between EUnited and Luminosity. Gunless and EUnited have their tournament lives on the line here, Teep, in this next map. They're down 0-2 to Luminosity, and we were talking a little bit during the break. EUnited, they made some crazy comebacks against, Optic Gaming and some of these other teams, in the CWL. It's like, how many times can they keep pulling out these games? I don't know if they're going to be able to do it against a team like Luminosity, especially with the way they're playing right now.
These games have been pretty close, but I just don't know how much magic do these guys have. I know they have a lot of composure, don't get me wrong. We've seen they're probably the best team at pulling off a sweep like this, winning those 3 maps in a row, but LG, their shots just look so good. They're playing confident, and when you're shooting better, when you're the better slaying team, you can play whatever style of game you want. The other team's dead.
And it's just ridiculous. I may just be me, but when I watch these two teams play, at least right now, it's like when we go on board with the Luminosity players, they just look faster.
Yeah.
Like, obviously all the players moving at the same speed of the game, but like they just look faster, like more decisive than the guys on EUnited right now. Just seems like EUnited coming out really like slow, lethargic, like not the aggressors that we normally see them be.
Yeah, and it's a really tough task to shut down the slaying of EUnited, but Luminosity making it look somewhat easy. Octane so zoned in right now, and it's not like he's massively outperforming Arcides in these gunfights, but when he's able to chain those kills together, it just opens the door for your aggressive players, and he's just getting the better of it right now.
Going into Frost Uplink, it'll be game number 3. Who are your key players to look at from either side?
It's always got to be Gunless. He's going to be the one that sparks it. We've heard interviews from him where he gives his team a pep talk before situations like this. He needs to pull one out right now. That's for darn sure. Their lives are on the line. They're playing for top 4 and a hell of a lot of money here at the Stage 1 playoffs. And on the other side, I think I just need to keep seeing Octane. The guy is shooting so darn well. The NV4 today, unbelievable.
And we're talking about reverse sweeps. I got Pat in my ear. He's telling me, he's like, last time EUnited was down 0-2 was to Luminosity. They came back week 3.
Okay.
So we've seen them
true.
do it before, but a lot more money on the line. Obviously, that's the group stages to get here, but a lot more pressure here. So Octane and Classic pick up some kills mid-map. Nobody grabbing drone just yet. Want to set up and get mid-map control. But I just want to ask you, T, but we see Octane here at the beginning running the NV4. How difficult is it to run an NV4 on a map like Frost Uplink?
Well, it's all about positioning. Obviously, when you get into areas like this at blue, it can cause you some issues. You're expecting to go against a lot of ERADs, but looks like when Octane's NV4 has some superpowers at close range, he just wins a huge gunfight versus Arcides right there. He finally gets cleaned out. EUnited is still holding strong towards middle, but Octane's NV4 is something special.
The drone will be in favor of EUnited. It'll be Gunless at the top of the map, trying to bring it down here towards the bottom where he has his teammates in support. This is where you're going to see a lot of the gunfights go down inside of Sub Bay as Gunless gets out with the drone, weaving in between players, but it's going to be an interception there from Classic. And I got to say, Classic and Octane, since these two have started teaming together, 2 of the best players we've seen intercepting the drone in Uplink.
Oh, Classic going back since Uplink's inception in competitive Call of Duty, always been one of the best. He gets that timing down perfectly. Looks like LG moving this drone up very quickly. I'm surprised they're able to get this dunk. That was too easy. 2 players flanked around blue from the side of EUnited. The other player just went right to the drone reset. They might be able to execute now that they have numbers. There is 1 player, Saints, the last one sort of alive at that middle cut. Point should be coming in soon.
We'll see if Pristini has Arcides as a lead blocker, being able to put points on the board. And he's able to get the 1-point play. Slacked able to take out both Pristini and Arcides, but just wasn't high enough in the air to land that interception. So it'll be EUnited getting a point on the board. The drone going to be thrown towards that top side. It's going to be Classic. Slacked picking up some kills, and man, Slacked is starting to heat up now on a 4 streak. And we were talking a little bit during the break. It's like when Classic is, Slacked is arguably playing like your worst in this series, and you get Saints to start playing well. I mean, this is a scary, scary team.
Well, Classic just walks in blue, picks up probably the easiest 3-piece he's ever going to get. Saints going to be the last one alive, trying to lock down this area. These ERADs from LG are just absolutely shredding. EUnited, though, still holding strong. They have possession of the drone now, and that's a really good point. Slack finally having a good game in this one. We're going to see who's going to remain consistent. It needs to be Saints in sort of partnership there. He is shooting well, but EUnited storming up now towards Sub Bay with this drone, not wasting any time.
And they really don't even, if the other 3 are playing at their potential, right? We're talking about Octane, Classic, and Slacked. You just need Saints to stay about even. You just need him to play good enough to not hurt you for them to win these respawn games with ease. And see Classic here just trying to get the drone out of his hands so you can get gun up. not going to be able to win any fights. And Silly with the drone for EUnited, trying to push forward, but has no teammate support there. Seems like EUnited just getting all these staggered spawns. You know, they're just not able to get all 4 players spawning up at one time. You know, in that middle of the map, able to pick up some kills. And this is going to be what looks like points here for Luminosity. All 4 of their members going towards the EUnited base. Octane slides in, jumps up, gets the dunk on the board. Up 4-1 is Luminosity trying to put EUnited away.
Classic earns those score streaks as well. Expect them to use those. Wow, Saints on a 5 streak as well. Slack and Saints, this is the 2 I was talking about. And they're using these 3 ERADs so darn well. When you look at EUnited, who do you really think is they're going to be the best 3rd ERAD player for them? I don't think they really have one in comparison to the side of LG. And it's really showing right now. All players positive, just storing up the map with those SMGs.
And I feel like this game, more than I know any of the other past CODs, has really forced you to be good with multiple weapons.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just kind of take like an SMG into every single map. Like, you can't just take the K-Bar or NV4 in every single map. Like, you need to be well-versed in the weapons you can use, whether it's an ERAD, a K-Bar, NV4, depending on the map. I mean, look, we saw a lot of these guys, you know, for Luminosity running NV4s on Retaliation Hardpoint. Now switching things up, all going with the SMGs in their hands.
The 3 SMGs from LG. Look at Gunless's score. He's so tough to shut down at times. Arguably, you know, the best player in Infinite Warfare for competitive Call of Duty, but he's 5 and 12, can't get anything going. Classic doesn't get that drone off for the 1. There is 1 player that is going to be flanking. He's cleaned up though, so nice stop, nice hold from Pristini on the side of EUnited. They're only down 3 in this one. They need to try and put some sort of scoring attempt together. Still, he does pick up 2 as they move this drone up towards middle.
It's Gunless with a really rare, poor first half. Like you were saying, this guy has been lights out throughout the season in Infinite Warfare. A nice 1-point play there from Pristini at the end to close the gap within 2. But Gunless, I mean, he's been a rock star this year, you know, big player on the scene, starting now 5 and 13. They are going to need him to show up in a big way in the second half, or else this is one where Luminosity could potentially sweep EUnited.
Yeah, this one's just tough though. When you're getting focused so heavily by multiple ERADs. Gunless, I would call him one of the best ERAD players in the game just because of his movement, but you know, it's not like LG has bad gun skill. They're just shredding people right now. All 4 players positive. Gunless is just, I don't know if he needs to switch up weapons, maybe play a little bit slower or what, but 5 and 13, obviously not going to work out. LG slaying though, it doesn't matter what they're doing on the map. When you're that positive as an entire team, it just makes the game slow down from your perspective. It's so easy.
The objective is going to figure itself out.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're picking up that many kills and the other team is on respawn for that long of game time, you're going to figure out the objective. It's just going to happen. Unless everybody is just hell-bent on not picking it up, which obviously at the competitive level, the players are going to pick it up. The drone, for the most part. So you see Classic coming in, trying to pick up 1 here, trying to create some offense for LG. This would be big points on the board early if they're able to get him. Saints trying to dodge some players, gets a 1-point throw off, but that is going to be intercepted, quickly cleared by EUnited. And so we didn't really talk too much about it, but Luminosity with those score streaks, do you like them on this map? Are they as powerful on this map as opposed to something like a Precinct or a throwback uplink?
I wouldn't say they're as strong, but if you could take this drone up towards this blue side and pop something like a Trinity, it forces the players into blue, forcing them into a situation where they have to get out of their base. So it can be beneficial if you pop them at the right time. But regardless, it just doesn't seem like Gunless is going to be able to get anything going in this game. Will he even get camo is the biggest question. Classic winning that race for camo so heavily, as all players, you know, closing in on double positive on the side of LG. Octane 20 and 10, that's crazy.
I mean, they are double positive, very close to it. But the score, I mean, they're only up 2 right now. You know, they're just not really kind of getting control of mid-map outside of the beginning of this game. So now the drone is down in hands of Pristini. But look at the minimap. I mean, he only really has 1 teammate here in support. Everybody set up in the base for LG. Right there, Arcees goes in, tries to make a play. I mean, even when he dies, there's nobody there to trade it out. So now you're just sending 1 guy in versus 3, and you're just going to get crushed like they are right now.
Yeah, just the trade's not seeming to be the same. A bit of back and forth. Gunless able to win that gunfight after he hands the drone to the other team. Archie's going to be the last one alive. Can't pick up the double, though. EUnited now storming up. They should have a good chance of scoring. The drone will be moving out, but a grenade catches them in the face, makes them weak as Classic cleans up both. Now he has the camo. Expect them to, you know, take this lead and make it 6-2 real quick.
So he actually has none of his streaks left. So just has the Scarab and the active camo. Saints picks up 2 in the feed as now they're trying to bring this drone over towards the top side. We usually don't see a ton of action this way towards the top side. We usually see from the side of EUnited, you know, maybe they bring it top side, hit that wall run, try and get the 1-point throw, but not going the opposite way. As see Arcees throw the drone over towards the top side, win a second fight. Arcity's on a 3 streak here. Silly going to pick up the drone, but man, they pick up some kills. They have to go back and get the drone. And then that second wave, that's where they've really been shut out by LG.
They're going to have to get desperate pretty soon. Only 2 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the second half. Luminosity trying to close out this series, and don't give them any life to make many reverse sweeps as we've seen before. But LG seems to be holding strong. They don't really need to do anything with the drone right now. Just pick up kills first, eventually get the drone into Classic's hands for that easy camo dunk. I'm pretty sure that's what the play call is here. Now they get the pass off to Octane, goes for the 1, and now it's a 2-possession game. A huge play from them. They're just holding strong, looking composed over at Ship.
And if Gunless doesn't get this camo, may not happen for EUnited. 3 kills for Slack, currently on a 6 streak. We talked about him after the game 1, needed to heat up in the respawn game modes, showing up here. He finishes on a 7 streak. They still have the camo to work with. Octane just putting a ton of pressure on the EUnited base. You have not seen EUnited really be able to get out towards mid-map. Just a dominant performance in the slaying department from Luminosity.
I think it's impressive in itself that EUnited is only down 3 points. If you look at the kill category, it's absolutely insane. But looks like payload ability, that overdrive going to be popped from Arcity's. This should be a dunk. There is going to be one player to contest. He gets the 1. So it is. They do have a chance here. 1-possession game. Centurion is going to be coming down to protect that right side of the base from Slacked. And they need to get this drone over towards Classic. They want to close this one out.
So I always kind of like joke about the Centurion. I actually kind of like the use there to kind of, in case things get out of control and they start pushing towards, slow them down a little bit. But here could be the game. 40 seconds left. Camo going to be popped by Classic. He's going to get tagged up on the wall, not able to get points. And it's going to be reset. A huge play by Pristini and EUnited. Now they're right back in this. They got to get back towards mid-map.
And that's a huge play. That jammer grenade, you know, that little shock you see on Camo's Classic screen, that shows up. They see the player, and they take him out just before he's able to get that drone in. Gunless now, drone in his hand. 15 seconds left.
Oh, they're picking up kills.
They have the lead blocker. He doesn't have it anymore, though. He needs to get a dunk. No, it's shut down. Octane going to be the 1. The 30th kill for him. Going to take it back to his base and seal the deal for Luminosity. Going to move on for the top 4.
And it's crazy to think if Gunless is in that position with active camo, maybe they're able to turn that into points, but Luminosity Gaming, a 3-0 sweep over EUnited. EUnited now out of the Stage 1 playoffs. You see how crushed these guys are. They've been tremendous all year long, but man, they just ran into a better team in this matchup.
I don't know if LG was just more fresh in this series. EUnited not able to play for a while, but man, LG's slaying. When all 4 people can go that positive, there's just not much you can do. EUnited kept it as close as possible in all that maps. Yes, it was a 3-0, but I don't feel like that tells the whole story of how close some of those maps were.
No, the maps were very close, but that game 3, I mean, you go back and look at those scores on the side of Luminosity, that is a team that I do not want to play against. That is a team that will play against Optic Gaming tomorrow morning. They look very strong. And if they win these S&Ds and they keep shooting like this in the respawn game modes, it'll be tough for anybody to beat.
It's very true. You know, speaking about that OG versus LG matchup, I feel like if LG is in form like this, they are going to be the best, the team that makes the most sense to knock Optic out of the tournament before getting to that loser bracket final. That matchup's going to be nuts.
Well, remember back in Dallas, I mean, they had such a close series. I believe I cast it with either Puckett or Maeve, and like every game, like Luminosity was in control until like the final seconds, and Optic was able to turn things around. It's a series that Luminosity, they probably went back and watched the VODs, like, man, we gave that one away. Should have been able to take that series. But I know EUnited out of the tournament, obviously. What do you want to see them work on going into Anaheim?
It's really tough to say. They play so fundamentally well. Their teamwork is there. They obviously kept that game so close when getting outslayed by, what, 20, 30 kills? So I don't know if they just need to get a better mindset. They said they didn't warm up well for their first series, so maybe just the simple things like that. Go back to the fundamentals that have worked so well.
Yeah, no, I definitely think we'll see EUnited show up in a big way at Anaheim. These guys are gamers, but it is Luminosity winning the series 3-0. In a commanding fashion. A big reason why was Octane, and we got Maven on the main stage set up for an interview.
Thank you, gentlemen. Fantastic cast as always. All right, we're going to talk about the team a little bit, but first off, you've been a damn god, Octane. You've been playing brilliantly. What just individually has been clicking for you lately? Because you've been unbelievable, buddy.
Contrary to that, I actually don't think I've been playing that well. You know,
you have.
Okay, sorry. I've had those plays. I had the overdrive play. I had the 1v3, but like hardpoint, the respawn game modes, I haven't actually been playing that well until that series. So I hold myself to a higher standard. But when I get going, man, it's hard to stop me. I know it sounds cocky, but
hey, it's true. It's true. Let's talk a little about the team. So I know Caster's analysis, we've said all year, as soon as you can kind of figure out the search, right, you'll be fine. You'll be instantly a top 3 team, maybe fighting in finals, and it's finally here. I know we talked about it a lot, but like, what for viewers at home, what has been the single biggest thing for you guys in search? Why is it working? By the way, you're undefeated right now this weekend.
We said it time and time again, man. It's just running around together, being on the same page, challenging things together. It's like, analysts say it, we say it, other teams say it. It's like we're one of the best gun skill games in the team. So like, we 1v1 you or 4v4 you, like people like to say, it works out in our favor.
Well, hey, it's been very, very fun to watch. You keep it going. Now, let's look forward to the match going up against Optic Gaming. So you guys had a crazy back-and-forth 5-game series in Dallas. There's some history there. But the story's kind of been you haven't really made it to that upper echelon to face them that often in the deep matches. Now you've done it. $500,000 on the line. How do you feel about your matchup against Optic Gaming?
If we play like that, it's going to be one hell of a series. That's pretty much all I can say about it. Every time it goes game 5, if we're playing like that, who knows what can happen.
Well, hey, buddy, congrats and good luck going forward. It's been spectacular to watch you guys play. For now, Ben, guys, break it down.
Thank you very much, Maven. Fantastic to hear from Octane as well. Congratulations to Luminosity, a swift 3-0 dispatch of EUnited. Good prediction, Pat.
I called a swift 3-0.
You did. You just got the teams a little.
Oh, yeah,
it's late. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you for that. But EUnited bow out of the tournament, 5th, 6th, coming in. I don't think many people would have anticipated that, but it's been a rough one for them. For Luminosity, on the flip side, of course, they're going to continue. They have that game against Optic Gaming tomorrow morning to kick off Championship Sunday, one you definitely won't want to miss. But we'll break down the series now quickly because there really wasn't too much to talk about, to be honest. We'll start with map number 1. It was Hardpoint Retail. It does get close towards the end, 250 to 237. And one of the key things, Merc, was at one point, I think it was 190 to 181. Slacked was 9 and 17. Finishes the game 17 and 21, really turns up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player who's been probably their most consistent player in terms of last year as well. He's always doing well, but he has a slow game. But the big thing is this guy on your stream, Nicky D. I mean, Classic wins so many gunfights, really. After game 1, he was getting vocal. He was yelling like you never see that from him. Just that energy. You could tell how bad they want to win. But EUnited, they started off this game strong, but Luminosity just turned up.
Very true, and it got a little scary towards the end, Momo. So many team kills came in a haul for LG. There was 3, including Slack with a double team kill there as well. It looked almost as if they threw it right there.
Yeah, and a lot of people think, wow, 3, double,
here it is.
3 team kills. But it's not only 3 team kills. The 2 players that did it died straight away after it. So it's basically 5 deaths for your team without any answer. Miraculously, they actually rotate. They don't rotate, to that bottom market. Silly does quicker, and their Luminosity just retake. We've talked about Luminosity, their gun skill, and how they just retake things so well. They managed to do it, and again, payload usage was a little bit better from the side of LG. Octane and Saints, for me, at the very, very end, were fantastic on that lower market.
And retail is always the story of the money hills broken. You saw LG won both times, and that one time that we specifically, they pushed them out so far. I watched, they spawned, EUnited spawned Graves 3 times in a row, and that is so far away. It takes you 10, 15 seconds just to run to the bridge and get there. When they're pushing spawns out like that, they're going to win those money hills, and that's what led to that W.
Very true. Then, of course, we head over to map number 2, Search and Destroy. It was Crusher. And Luminosity become an S&D team, apparently, guys. In case you didn't know, unbeaten in this game mode. And Merc, it's almost as if they're playing it like the bomb sites are hard points, and they're just team flooding and breaking it.
That's it. They're just making it simple for themselves, which is just shoot the other team, right? I mean, this is just what we talked about. If they're able to take a game 2, how good they are at games 1 and 3, this team could win championships potentially, and we're finally starting to see that here. All of them playing well. I mean, it's just a great game out of them.
For me, it was finally they don't switch it up, right? We've noticed them before. They do that 4-man push. They do it once or twice, and then they're like, okay, let's try and do some different strategy, and then we see them lose. Finally, they're sticking with this, hey, we have the best gun skill. Let's all just go every single round. They did it every round, and it worked out for them.
And that's the thing is they play that way, but it just seems like if it doesn't go their way, because they have to realize it is a 50-50 play style, right? So you have to realize when those things don't go your way, you can't switch it up, because that's what you want. You want those gunfights. They figured out how to sort of work together better, and they just look great.
One thing as well with Luminosity is, yes, they're sticking together, yes, they're pushing around the map, but they're all doing it, you know, at different heights. Some people are pushing across the floor. Classic reminds me of, like, Urban, you know, from last year. He's just non-stop on a wall run, like 40 foot in the air, and you don't expect that. You see one on the floor, one wall run, and then Classic's up here, and it's just like, you're not going to be able to take down two in those situations. That's why Luminosity, for me, alongside their gun skill, they're just taking these Search and Destroys. And admittedly, yes, they're undefeated. A lot of their success has been coming on Crusher, though. They seem a fantastic S&D Crusher team.
Very true. And at the same time, where's the confidence out of EUnited? I didn't feel like they were playing that same S&D we're used to. That playmaking ability they had, they weren't using it. They were sitting back, letting Luminosity kind of write the book for them, and they were just reading it. It was really strange. I want to see that confident EUnited next time we see them in Anaheim.
It just seemed like they were stale, right? It seemed like one or two of them each game really wasn't getting into it. You know, we didn't really have a big performance out of a player like Silly. RC's usually super consistent, you know, and then Gunless, regarded one of the best players, if not the best player in this game this year, and just none of them really stepped it up. We saw some great plays out of Pristini, but they just, all four of them weren't on at the same time.
Only thing I can think of is they had the first match of the day, and then this was the last match of the day. Maybe they got a little tired because it didn't seem like the EUnited we were used to.
It definitely didn't. They just didn't really have a response to any of LG's plays in really any of the game modes. I mean, we're talking now about game number 3, of course, going in, LG up 2-0, and they close it out. Emphatic 3-0 fashion on Uplink Frost. And really want to just talk about the final 2 minutes, because I feel that that's where it kind of got a little crazy. It was 4-2 with 2 minutes left in favor of LG. Momo, did you believe at any point now that EUnited could come back? Obviously, so far away from Camo, it didn't really look like it was possible.
I always have faith with EUnited. I always have faith in any team at playoffs. When you're 2 points down in Uplink with 2 minutes left to go, you can always make a change. You can always do something crazy, fall down and push forward. But I really think that second side from Luminosity, they had that lead and they knew it. They were playing with it. Octane, again, played fantastic. He was pushing at the right times, holding at the right times. But again, I just feel like right now I'm seeing a Luminosity which I've wanted to see for so long. Dallas, Atlanta, ESWC, they've been good, but they've not been fantastic. And now I'm starting to see a team which, can go all the way. I'm looking forward to that next game against Optic Gaming, because they've taken them to five-game series before, but I think they have the potential to actually take it.
Yeah, and you saw in that game, Luminosity knew they had the fail-safe with Camo. Obviously, EUnited did a great job of stopping it, but it goes all the way down to that last push. EUnited, they don't have Camo. When's the last time we've talked about Gunless not having it? Again, one of those players who just struggled a little bit in game number 3, and if he steps up, has that Camo, they're able to tie that game.
And at the same time, Gunless had a slow series. Slack, man, finally. We've been asking for it all weekend. Slack came alive in that uplink. He was, what, 33, got a Centurion with like 2.5 minutes left. I mean, I run a Centurion. You don't get that till what? He had like 33 with 2 minutes left. He was on fire, and that's what Luminosity needs. They're always going to have Octane, Classic, Saints performing, but when Slack goes off like that, they're unbeatable.
Well, congratulations to LG. The 3-0 win keeps them alive in the losers bracket here at the Stage 1 playoffs. But before we talk about the losers bracket, let's take a look at our winners bracket. Of course, if you are just tuning in, we'll recap you on exactly where we are in the tournament. Tomorrow, the winners bracket final, FaZe Clan versus Splice. Momo, you're here at last game of the day. Want to get your opinions on that. Can Europe do it? Can they book themselves their ticket into that grand final?
Yeah, they really can. They can absolutely solidify maybe Europeans' best placement at a North American event since champs. They can get a top 2 finish for sure. FaZe are a beast right now. They're a different FaZe to what we've seen. They've taken down Optic, they've taken down Luminosity, 2 North American Titans. Can they do it? Yes. Will they do it? I think we're seeing a 5-game series in that one again.
For me, this is the best European team we've seen of all time, right?
Of all time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In terms of skill,
I agree.
This is no debate.
The best by far in terms of skill. But FaZe and Clayster are the EU killers, right?
Yeah. Don't do it.
I think they're the better team here. I think they're playing really well. I think their S&D's on point, which is what they were a week at, right? But now, just like I said before, Zero's on fire. There's no player here, in my opinion, that can match him this weekend so far.
I just think Zuma, I think him being back to his presence, just the aggression on the map, it's just, if he can play to that level consistently and then sort of open up attach, things start to get crazy, Because as soon as Zuma starts to put pressure on the map like he's been, it makes Clayster and Enable's job a lot easier.
I just want to say as well, with FaZe, they always seem to get the upper hand over Splice at the start. And the one thing I always worry about, if Splice starts strong, they win map 1, which they've been doing, they go on, they get on a bit of a roll. But if they lose map 1, that's when they go into S&D a little bit flustered, and that's where they can crumble. They need to win map 1 against FaZe.
But for me, you were talking about Zuma's aggression. Jerk's probably the most aggressive player in the entire league. There is no one that is as fast as him.
Yeah, but sometimes he doesn't kill like Zuma.
But that's fine. If you guys...
It's going to be a good one, right?
You guys talking about it is getting me excited. I wish we could just kind of time travel.
And the problem is, though, is you lose that game and you have to go down and play a Luminosity or Optic who just won that match. That is scary. If you're one of those teams, win that first game tomorrow. Put yourself in the final.
That's a good
words of wisdom right there. Make sure you win that winners bracket final. We'll take a look now at our losers bracket, see how that one developed throughout the day. Optic Gaming 3-0 Team Envious, 3-0 Enigma 6. They now face Luminosity, who 3-0'd EUnited as well. Thoughts on that one, gents? Memo, I'll start with you.
Optic Gaming, my first thoughts, yes, it's 3-0-3-0. Those are not clean 3-0s. I think they could have lost 2 of the 3 maps to Enigma 6. They could have lost a couple to Envy. But in Optic fashion, in the green wall that they come out and they clutch up. So credit to where credit is due. Going up against Luminosity, though, again, I see loser round 3 and I see the winner bracket final both go in game 5.
Wow, game 5's all day tomorrow.
Yeah, baby.
I wanted to see EUnited win that one just because I wanted to see the EUnited Optic match. But at the same time, man, the last time LG and Optic played was a bloodbath. It was every map I felt like LG threw away. I mean,
they did. They should have won that map.
They should have won 4-0. I mean,
4-0.
Yeah.
It was like a throwback that was crazy.
Right.
The Crusher they threw away. Then they win that uplink.
I'm just really glad that LG is going to get their redemption on Optic to see if they can finally put them out.
Very true. Excited for that game, of course. That's going to kickstart Championship Sunday tomorrow. Here is a look at our schedule for that one. As I said, Optic Gaming versus Luminosity at 1 p.m. Then our winners bracket final at 2:30 p.m. Splice, Europe's hopes and dreams resting on their shoulders. Can they shut down an on-fire and informed FaZe clan? Then at 4 p.m. we have our losers bracket final before our grand final kicks off at 5:30 p.m. You're going to make sure you get your popcorn for that. It's bound to be a classic. It definitely is. But that is going to conclude day 2 here at the Stage 1 playoffs of the Call of Duty Global Pro League presented by PlayStation 4. Evil Geniuses was the first team to fall, swiftly followed by Team Envious to start off the day. Splice, on the other hand, guaranteed top 3 for Europe and will play FaZe in the winners bracket final tomorrow afternoon. E6 and EUnited also bow out of the Stage 1 playoffs, finishing 5th, 6th. That sets up an Optic Gaming versus Luminosity matchup to start Championship Sunday. Action continues tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.